Hey there, welcome into another episode of the Chicago Bears Fan Show on Fan Media Network. I'm Sunday Eli. Let's get into it. Rishab is the mastermind behind DaWindyCity Productions. Fabulous work that he's doing there, recapping everything Chicago sports, and specifically today we're talking about the Chicago Bears. I wanted to get you on here because I wanted to chat with you about the Chicago Bears draft last week actually. And I wanted to get your opinion about the overall draft grade for them, and you can go ahead and take it away.
Of course. So if you've seen any of my videos already, you know that I'm a huge fan of the draft, obviously, because going into this year, obviously after we signed Andy Dalton, a lot of Bears fans kind of just completely lost hope in the organization. They're like, well, what are we doing? We're not going to go anywhere. We're probably going to tank next year. But literally one draft changed all of that like overnight. And it started at the top, obviously, in the first round. You trade up for Justin Fields. You finally get, a quarterback that actually gives you hope. So that night obviously was amazing, but then he followed it up the next night by trading up for Tevin Jenkins, a guy that a lot of people thought was going to be like a top 20 pick. Like I was taking Tevin Jenkins at pick number 20 in one of my mock drafts. So I was like, wow, we got both of them. And then obviously the next day also we had a couple really nice late round picks. So overall, it was such an amazing draft. Like it probably blew everybody's expectations by like a long shot. And I would say Ryan Pace probably saved his job. Obviously we'll see what happens in the future because, you gotta see, hopefully we don't ruin Justin Fields or do anything like that. But I just feel like the talent that he has and, how we're like kind of surrounding him with a lot of talent as well, I think it's really going to work out. So I love the draft overall.
Awesome. So are you thinking it was an A+, A-?
Oh, A+ without a doubt. Like getting Justin Fields, getting Tevin Jenkins as well, having a solid day 3 too. Like you honestly could not have done that better if you're Ryan Pace. Like I don't know what else he could have done. So I would give it an A+ for sure.
Yeah. So as we get closer into OTAs and training camp, do you actually think that Fields has the potential to pan out to start this season?
Yeah, it's a good question. So it's kind of tough to say because rookie quarterbacks, a lot of the times they don't start right away. Nowadays they do a lot more than, 10, 20 years ago, but even guys like Patrick Mahomes, he pretty much sat the entire first season. I think Deshaun Watson actually sat out a few games, but then he was inserted like right away after, I think it was like Tom Savage or somebody. He was playing really bad. So it kind of did. I think it's going to be a mixture of both. Like we're going to try to start Andy Dalton at first, but I feel like Andy Dalton is not going to inspire any hope in the offense. Like he might win a couple games just, if we're playing easy competition first, or if, our defense is doing pretty well, but I don't think he's going to be in there for more than like 4 or 5 games. So my prediction is like Justin Fields probably comes in around week 5, week 6, somewhere around there. So, obviously the ideal situation would be that he sits until like week, 13, 14, and like he gets a full season to develop. But I don't think that's going to happen with Andy Dalton.
Yeah, I could see that. I think that's a good perspective. I could totally see that. And hopefully Justin Fields is in fact the quarterback for the Chicago Bears in the future, and hopefully he pans out to fulfill the excitement of so many fans in the city. On behalf of fans of Chicago, we want to know, do you really think that Ryan Pace redeemed himself with this draft? You already touched on it a little bit.
Yeah, I would say, it's obviously early to say right now because they haven't done anything on the field, but on paper, yeah, 100%. Like, I don't know if you've seen my other videos, but I've actually been like more nicer to Ryan Pace than most of Chicago. Like I thought that besides the mess up in 2017, he's actually been a pretty good drafter. Like especially in the middle rounds, you got guys like Eddie Jackson, Tariq Cohen, Bilal Nichols, Darnell Mooney last year. He's like a really good drafter in the middle of the rounds. But obviously his first round picks have been pretty bad, and also obviously picking Trubisky over Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes, that's probably going to live with him forever. But if he finally gets a quarterback right, I feel like that's all he needs to do because he's shown the ability to, create a championship level team, just everything besides the quarterback. So I think he redeemed himself, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And so do you think that they are finally addressing their offensive line with getting Tevin Jenkins and also Larry Boone?
100%. Yeah, I was so happy. Obviously I wanted this, offensive tackle at some point in the draft, but to get Tevin Jenkins, a guy that was like one of the best tackles in the class, I was just going crazy over that. He's tough. He's physical. He has like a different mindset than our last offensive tackles had. I'm not to like disrespect them or anything, but they didn't have like the same level of aggression in my opinion. So definitely like building up the offensive line is going to be huge because we saw with Mitch Trubisky. Even though Mitch himself had his problems, the offensive line was so bad too for him like a lot of time. And last year also with Nick Foles, like he was getting hit left and right, and that was not a good experience for him. So yeah, I definitely think that he's finally, investing his early round picks in offensive tackles too, because I don't know if you knew, but before this year, he actually never invested a top 5 round pick in offensive tackle like ever in like 7 years. So the fact that he's finally doing it, I think he does, care about it now. So
yeah, definitely. Well, also the city's gonna chew him out if he doesn't.
I mean, everybody was calling for Ryan Pace's job until like just a week ago. So
right. So the pressure was definitely on. As we get ready to wrap up here, just what do you want to share with the Chicago Bears fan base in regards to just wrapping up the conversation about the 2021 NFL Draft?
I would say just keep your expectations like reasonable. Like don't expect Fields to come in here and be the MVP in like the first year or second year, because although Patrick Mahomes did that, it's not very likely every quarterback does that. So I would say have a little bit of patience, but also be excited because we have so much of a future now. Like we have our quarterback, we have our left tackle, we have a lot of exciting receivers too. So I would say just be excited, but also be a little bit reasonable for next year. Well,
you could definitely have to check out DaWindyCity Productions everywhere. Plug your socials for us so that we can stay up with you.
Yeah, so my Instagram is at DaWindyCityProds. My Twitter is at DWCProds. And you obviously know where my YouTube is. So that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And I can't wait to chat with you again. And to all the Chicago Bears fans out there, we'll be seeing you soon.
To host a fan show or appear as a fan on a fan show, simply create a profile on Fan Media's iOS app or website. Select your teams and make a short intro video on your phone. Show hosts, reporters, former players, and superfans can use our Get Verified feature and make an intro video as well, and our mobile newsroom staff will reach out.